Hello, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your day so far today. A big warm welcome to all the newest subscribers that have joined us here. Thank you so much for clicking that button. I absolutely appreciate it. And I'm happy to have you along the journey here with me as I grow my small business. If you decide to click on the video and you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would absolutely love it if you would come along the journey with me. We are just getting started. There's so much more to come. We are finishing off market season. We only have 3 more markets left. I don't think I mentioned in the last video that I did. I was waiting to hear back from one of the markets that I had applied for in the beginning of December. And I heard back and I was accepted. So I am so excited for that market. That's the market that's going to be in our local shopping mall on December 6th, and it's going to be busy. But I have 2 markets before that. One is in T-minus 5 days. This coming Saturday, we have our next market. So I am definitely trying to work a little bit every day when I come home from work and get some more things done. Obviously, we got everything done from my last video, which was working up the whips that I had kicking around the house. Some of them were 6 months old, so I was able to get those done. So I feel much better about that now. A couple things that I've been able to get done over the last few days. We just finished another little penguin. The only downside to this one, and it's the yarn that I'm using, it's so dark, and I will tell you this color, so this is the rhubarb color from Loops and Threads from the line that they don't carry anymore, and this is almost as bad as working with black yarn. It was so hard to follow along with. Somewhere along the line, I mean, you can kind of see his stitches look a little funny there. I lost a stitch somewhere in the last 2 to 3 rounds. I'm not sure where or how, but it still looks cute. So I think I'm still going to put it on the table and see if it goes. I did get another jellyfish done. So the last market I sold out of what I had left for the jellyfish. So I have this one done. I'm going to get at least 1 more done. I'm hoping maybe even 2 more done. They don't take too long to make up. So this one's nice and colorful. We'll make another one, obviously in a different color, maybe hopefully 2. What I did get done, so I was really working on some of my small items that were selling out in the last market. So these little baby whales that I had sold out last time, I made a bunch over the weekend. So I have a whole bin full. So right now I counted them. I have 23 so far. So my goal is to make 30. I probably would have had them done over the weekend, but I ran out of 8mm eyes. So thank goodness for Amazon. I ordered some more on Saturday and they arrived Monday morning, so I can get back to making the rest of these. On a side note, this bin, new edition. I went to Michael's just to see what they had. I wasn't really going for a particular purpose. I just had some time to kill one day in town, and they had all their fall decor on clearance because they already have their Christmas decor out. So this was normally $34.99 Canadian, and it was 80% off. I would not pay $35 for that. That's not worth $35. $7. I am okay with paying $7 for this. So I actually bought 2. So I'm gonna have that on the table with all the small little items in there. But yeah, so today is Tuesday. I don't think I mentioned that at the very beginning of the video. Today is Tuesday. First check-in. Gonna work the next few days on seeing what I can get finished. And I will check in with you hopefully in another day or 2, and we'll see what kind of progress I've been able to make. Happy Thursday, everybody. Just a quick check-in as we are still market prepping for this coming Saturday. Only 2 days away from the market, so it's getting super close. I haven't got as much done as I had hoped. That seems to be a theme with me. Leading up to a market, I always have these grand ambitions and I don't quite get what I want to get done. But what I have gotten completed in the last couple days, I did get another jellyfish completed, so we went with a green one. This one, I still have to do the mouth on there, but we'll get that done. I made the tentacles in the middle a little bit longer than I did with the last ones, and really all the ones that I've made up to this point I've never made them quite this long, but I actually kind of like that a little bit better. I mean, that's how a jellyfish is supposed to be anyways. His tentacles are supposed to be a little bit longer. So I think I will continue doing this. I just added another 10 chains to the middle to make it a little bit longer. So I'll probably continue doing that. The only other thing that I've really gotten accomplished is a few more of the mallard squish. So I've gotten 5 more of these done. I don't remember how many I had left over from my last market. I think I had 4, maybe 5. So that'll give me a good number to start out with. I wanted to get some more of those little chickens done. These little guys that I kept one of for myself because I did sell out of these at the last market that I did. And you think I can find the pattern? I had found it. It was a video that I had found. And I wrote it down somewhere, and I cannot find where I wrote it down. I've looked in all my books that I think it could be in, and I can't find it. So I am just going to try and wing it. I'm kind of using this one as a bit of a guideline just to see how many rounds that chicken is. So this is my work so far. So yeah, not where I want to be right now. It is Thursday. So I'll have some work to do tomorrow for sure before we pack the car, because I do want to pack the car tomorrow as well and get ready for the market on Saturday. So I'll see if I'll try and do one more check-in tomorrow before we're off and running on Saturday. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. We are post-market right now, obviously back at home. It did not go as well as I had hoped it was going to go. I had high hopes for this market and it didn't quite turn out that way. I am going to share a couple clips with you just from the market itself. I had started recording some of the interactions that I had, and then they just didn't go really anywhere. So I'm not going to include those. It was just really me crocheting a lot of the time while I was there at the market. The first 3 hours were the busiest, and then it just got so quiet. It died right off. Right at lunchtime, started to see a lot less traffic, and so I thought it would pick up around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock again, and it never did. It was so quiet. We were in the gymnasium of the school, and at times you could almost hear a pin drop. There was some whispers and stuff of the other vendors talking, but there was nobody walking around. So it was a lot slower than I had expected. But we're still going to go through our market recap. I will go over what we did do and how much we actually made from this market. The good news is, I guess, because it was a little bit slower, I have a market coming up next weekend, which is, I don't think I've ever actually done back-to-back weekends for markets. So at least with it being a little bit slower today, I don't have to recover quite as much of the items going into next weekend. So silver lining, I guess. I did, when I was there, because it was slow today, I got a few things done. Probably the most I've been able to crochet at a market this year. So a couple things I'll show you. So we did a little octopus. So the only thing that really slowed me down getting these done for 2 of them were the eyes, because I was in a school, so can't really sit there. And because when I do my safety eyes, I do melt the backs inside. I'm not going to have open flame in a school. I think they would not be impressed by that. So this one just needs the 2 eyes right there, and then he just needs to be sewn closed at the bottom, and that will be done. I did start a turtle as well. So I was able to get all the fins done, the head done, and then I started the body. So again, the only thing that slowed me down here was I couldn't obviously put eyes in the head. So I'm going to do that tonight, and we should be able to just finish him off and close it up really quickly. And then I thought I was being smart Friday. So Friday I didn't check in because I really didn't do anything. I just packed the car up, got my bins together. I didn't sit down and work on anything with the exception of this guy. And the only reason I did this, so I started the nose and the head because I wanted to get the eyes, and I thought if I can get the eyes done at home, then I can finish the entire thing at the market. But what slowed me down, so I got the 2 wings done. I got the 2 little feet done. But what I forgot is there is a round of white that goes next, and I didn't take any white with me. So that kind of stalled my progress on the duck that I was doing. But I did get some stuff out. The other thing I got done as well, which is still in the car because I haven't unpacked the car fully, is a snowman. So he's probably going to be like a medium-sized snowman. So I got his whole head and body done. So yeah, that took a little bit of time. And then in between there, I really just sat on my phone, kind of twiddled my thumbs, talked to a few people walking by, talked to a couple of the other vendors, that sort of idea. So I'm going to jump. We are going to go, I'll share the clips with you from the market. Now, with the market, I didn't record any setup, tear down, anything like that. There was not a lot of room where I was. We are kind of packed in there like sardines this morning. Everyone was coming in with their items and their product in their bins, and there wasn't a whole lot of room to maneuver and walk around. So I didn't just decide not to set up my tripod or anything to record as I was setting up. But yeah, I'll show you what we have, and then we'll come back and we'll do the final recap. So I thought I'd just jump on and do a quick little update here. We are, what's it, a quarter after 11, so we're almost 2 hours in to the day so far. It hasn't been too busy, to be honest with you. To start things off, it is just starting to pick up now. There are a few markets going on in the area around us today again as well, so we'll see if it starts picking up a little bit later. This one goes until 3:30 this afternoon, so we still have lots of time. The first hour was quite slow, the second hour is starting to pick up a little bit, so we'll see how we do going forward. Well, today didn't go exactly as planned. I had definitely hoped it was going to be a little bit busier. We are all packed up. I'm in the car, ready to go home. It really slowed down in the last 3 hours. I'm glad I made what I made in the first half of the day, because there was not much sales, or not many sales after that, rather. So yeah, so we are gonna go home, put our feet up, and relax a little bit. Alrighty, so let's go over what we actually made at this market. So this market was from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. And as you saw there, I had paid for 2 tables. So typically indoor markets, when I've gone, this is the first time I have actually paid for 2 tables at an indoor market. I normally only pay for 1, and that's just because of the cost. Outdoor markets are so much nicer, and that's why I love to do outdoor markets, is you get a 10 by 10 spot. And so you can fit, 2, sometimes 3 tables under your tent in a 10 by 10 spot. Sometimes they're even a 12 by 12 spot, so you have a little bit extra room on both sides. And they tend to cost just as much or around the same as an indoor spot for 1 table. So I did splurge on this one. I did pay for 2 tables. Hindsight, I probably wouldn't do that again. I think, especially with the new cubes that I bought this year, I can raise things up and just make everything work on 1 table. But nonetheless, 9:30 to 10:30, a little bit slower start. I mean, 9:30 to 10, there was almost nobody walking in. This is the first time that I've been at a market that started at 9:30. Most of these markets run 10 to 4, 10 to 3, around there. So 9:30 to 10, there was really no traffic at all. So really, these numbers are only between 10 and 10:30. So we sold 1 leggy froggy. I sold a baby tortoise. I sold a second leggy froggy. And then I finally got those little bees, those little baby bees. Weeks ago, I wanted to get the wings done. I never did them. So I did them today before the market started. So they were ready to go. So I sold 3 of those. So the first hour, we finished off at $38. Hour number 2, so 10:30 to 11:30. We started with a baby whale for one of the little $4 guys. I sold the itty bitty cow. So that was the one that I was talking about that I probably won't do it again. That one sold. So he was $25. And then I sold another bigger chicken. So one of the ones that I was talking about, I think in the last video or 2 videos prior, where you have to, they're almost like the Mabel chickens, but you sew the wings on. So there was a family, I think it was the mother, daughter, and maybe the grandmother that were coming through. And the daughter had mentioned that she really liked it, but she wasn't going to buy it. And her mom actually came back later and said, I wanted that white chicken. Her daughter was still roaming around, so we kind of hid it from her because she wanted it to be a surprise. So we sold that. So the second hour, that was $64 that we sold. 11:30 to 12:30 was still kind of the same traffic. Now, again, it kind of slowed right down around 12. So these numbers are probably more between 11:30 to 12. So we started that hour again with another leggy froggy. We did the 3 for $10. So I didn't write down what they got. So I had the baby whales and the baby bees in one bin. So they were $4 each, or 3 for $10. So they sold 3 of those. I think there are 3 bees, if I remember correctly. And once again, surprise, surprise, we sold the big mallard that I had to fix the beak. So that went. So I'm going to have to make sure we make another one this week to have it at the next market coming up. And then to finish off that hour, we sold 1 more of the little baby bees. So that was the best hour, really, because of the big mallard that we sold. So that was $69 that was sold in that hour. 12:30 to 1:30. This is where the cricket started happening. I didn't sell anything. That was another big fat 0 in that hour. 1:30 to 2:30 was looking very similar to the previous hour, and it was saved by one sale right towards the end of 2:30, and that was another leggy froggy for $10. And then 2:30 to 3:30, we were in the home stretch. I felt so exhausted by this time. It's funny how when you have a slower market, you almost feel more tired than when it's busy, and you just go, go, go. You're constantly talking to people. You don't feel worn down. And I started getting really tired by the end of the day. But we did finish the day off. So we sold 2 baby whales to one family, and then 2 baby whales to another family. And then the very last sale that we had was the little pink flamingo that I had. So in that last hour, we sold $36. The flamingo was kind of cute. It went to another little one. She's probably about 2 years old in her stroller, and Mom gave it to her, and it was cold out today. So she had these little minis on, and you just see these little hands come around and scoop the flamingo, and she pulled it into herself. So that was a great way to end a very exhausting and what felt like a never-ending long day. So all in total, we sold $217. And surprisingly, most of these sales were all cash. The last few markets that I've done, a lot of people are using their debit in the Square, but this was a lot of cash. I only did 1 transaction through the Square, and that was for the big mallard. And I think she bought the big mallard and one of the little whales at the same time. So that was $49 that we did through the Square. The rest was all cash today. Now, the downside to this is because I paid for 2 tables, those 2 tables cost me $100. And then later on, so when I bought these or signed up for this market, it was back in January. So almost a year ago that I actually signed up for and paid for this market. And the school board that this school is part of changed the rules. I believe it started October 1st. May have been September 1st, like when the school year started. Anybody that does something like a market in their schools or on their property, they have to pay insurance. So I had to fork in an extra $25 for insurance for this. So all in total, $125 in fees. So really all we walked away with was $92. So definitely one of the lower profitable markets that I've had so far this year. Not the worst. There was one that was worse than this one, but very, very close. So I'm crossing my fingers. I'm really hoping that the next market next weekend will be much better. From my understanding is the market next weekend, it is at another elementary school, but this one is very well known in the area and they've been doing it for quite a few years. So hopefully that's a good sign. After that, we have the market on December 6th. at our shopping mall, and I don't know if I'm just a glutton for punishment because December 6th was going to be my last market. I have applied for one more market in December, the following weekend, December 13th, which happens to be a high school. It is actually my old high school, so it'll be kind of fun to do one there. So we'll see. I don't know. They haven't gotten back to me yet, so I don't know if I will be accepted into that one or not. If I'm not, I'm actually quite okay with it because I had planned on December 6th being my last market, but I thought, what the heck? Why not do one more to finish off the year before Christmas time? But yeah, so there we have it. That is how this market went. I hope you guys enjoyed the little recap, and I apologize. I don't have a lot of energy. I am tired. It is like 9:30 at night, and again, that's like my bedtime, so I might stay up a little bit longer just to get a couple things done. But yeah, so next one, we'll start market prepping immediately to get ready for next weekend. But for now, guys, we'll let you go. We'll see you next time. Bye.